This is one of the benefits that you get from winning skirmisher supremacy. And in Empire Total War, this was an even larger benefit, since skirmishers were even more devastating in that game. But it's still very important in this game to use your skirmishers right. Alright, now I'm activating my cavalry, and he had a unit of line infantry guarding his artillery, and they do get some shots off at my fat, slow cuirassier. I really hate bringing heavy cavalry. I don't know why I brought those guys. I think I just brought them because they had good morale. I didn't realize these stakes were here either, so I managed to kill a few of my own horses on those. That was nice of me. But I do route that unit of Voltigeur, and I just bypass his men, and he forms a square here, which is smart, but I wasn't attacking them. But he does manage to snag some of my units, and when you get formed into squares on Napoleon Total War, they will shoot the crap out of your horses. And so whenever you get formed, whenever infantry forms into a square, even if you're not touching them, man, you gotta beeline it out of their range. Because you can watch these guys here, they're gonna trash this unit of cuirassier. There they go, they just shot down a bunch of my men. So after having bypassed his infantry, I'm now going to make a beeline for his general, and my lancers get there, but then rout, and my cuirassier finally show up 10 years later, and kill his general. And that was another strategic move on my part. I wanted to take out his general in order to demoralize his troops. I found on this game, at least personally, I think France is a better faction on this game than Prussia. Definitely wouldn't have been the case on Empire Total War. Again, that's just my opinion. And I'm going to crash into this regrouped unit of Voltigeur. You can see my howitzers firing on his howitzer. Just trying to take it out, but my howitzers weren't all that accurate in this game, even when I used the targeted shot. So that's going to be the end of his skirmishers over there, but he's turned a unit of his old guard to face my cavalry, and their doom is impending. Alright, so I forced his line up close, and then I rushed my line forward. And yes, I did take some pretty good volleys from his men, but I figured at this point that I needed to hurry and pummel his main line, so that I could focus my attention on his guards. And this plan goes well for me. I do move up, and between my skirmishers and my line infantry, I really hammer his left flank, and quickly rout some of the men off of his left flank. And there goes my cavalry. They finally routed. I expected that at this point, and it was alright for me to lose them. Although maybe it would have been smarter for me to hang on to them. There goes one of his units of Fusilier. They rout. These units over here are getting down into poor morale. You can see the morale of my men is good, due to my general still being alive and nearby. But his men do put up a pretty good fight here. I was impressed. There goes another unit of Fusilier, and he's got this unit that was guarding his artillery that's moved up now. And I'm going to need to, I'm going to face them with my foot guards here in a moment. My foot guards will make pretty easy work of them. So now that I started to rout the main body of his infantry, I was like, oh well, it should be a pretty easy fight for me from here on out. All I have to do is turn and focus my attention on his guards. But a lot of his army regroups, and his guards and his regrouped units really give me a lot of trouble. So let's see what happens there. I'm going to fast forward some. I start to slowly, like I said, I'm not the best player at this game, and you can tell by my reaction time. I start to slowly turn in on his flanks. And again, you can see that he's moving up his foot guards out here. I believe I've focused my artillery on them by this point. Or at least one of my units is in range of those guards. So here I turn my troops in, and I'm trying to rout these Fusiliers as quick as possible, because like I said, I need to turn all my attention on his guards. But due to my slow reaction time, my opponent now has 3 units right here of regrouped Fusiliers at the line, and I have to hurry and take them out now, because his guards are over here, just laying waste to my musketeers. Yeah, so here's my musketeers. They only have 96 men left, and his guards still have 105, so they're trashing me there. And this unit of young guard has 82. My men have 94 here. So it's pretty close between them, but he's moving up another unit of old guard. And old guard has a frightening effect on your men in the vicinity, so you can see the morale of my men dropping in the vicinity of the old guard, and their morale is way up, even though their general's dead and most of their army is routed. these young guard and old guard are inspiring each other, so I mean they put up a real tough fight, and they're outnumbered and outflanked. So this is why I was glad that my opponent didn't push this advantage earlier, because if he would have pushed these guards up earlier, I really think that he would have won the fight. Personally, I'm glad he didn't. Not that I mind losing. But anyway, he's trying to reposition this unit of old guard, and eventually I think he just runs them into melee, which is also pretty smart because my men's morale isn't very good. But I do kill a pretty good number of them before he gets there. And I tried to form into a square in order to take his charge, but it was too late, and so my men ended up just getting pummeled here. You definitely don't want to be in melee combat with old guards. These skirmishers here routed without even getting into the fight. And back here I'm trying to kill off his troops that have regrouped. Like I said, I know this is a long battle, just wanted to let you see the whole thing though. It was definitely a fight to the very end, and that's why I enjoyed it. My opponent didn't quit, and because he kept fighting, I mean, if you look at it here, the balance of power shows in my favor, but I mean, my opponent gave me a real scare there for a while with his guards. And look, there goes another of my unit of musketeers, so he's routed another. But finally, the weight of my numbers is starting to cripple my opponent, and I'm just going to fast forward through the end of this. Not a whole lot left here. There's more melee fighting, and basically me regathering troops that are routed, focusing my artillery on his remaining troops. In fact, I'll probably just cut off the rest of this battle and get to the results screen. Alright, here's the results screen. Let me just say good game to my opponent, Nelec. You can see how many men we deployed here. He had about 100 more men than me, and I took quite a number of losses as well. And but in the end, I was able to win. It was a pretty close battle. Here's some of my unit statistics. The only unit I can say that I was super proud of was my foot guards there. They got an enormous amount of kills. They were worth the money I paid. But some of my other units did okay, but you know, nothing special. And that just shows you how well my opponent played there. Anyway, good game. Hope you enjoyed the videos.